Starting to learn more about yesterday's fiery crash on eastbound I-90. The eastbound lanes of the Mount Baker Tunnel were closed for 7 hours after that RV crashed into a barrier and caught fire. Our cameras captured a person jumping out of the flaming vehicle. We know they're okay. All lanes have since reopened, but there is a flammable cargo restriction in place for both directions of the Mount Baker and Mercer Island lid tunnels until further notice. For more on this, Aisha Dial with WSDOT is back with us this afternoon. Aisha, good to see you today.
Thank you.
Cameras in the Mount Baker Tunnel captured a really frightening scene. Can you tell us more about the fire suppression system inside the tunnel that kicked in even before first responders got there?
Yeah, we have a couple of safety systems that are in place that are automatically operated when a fire is detected in the tunnel system. So in this case, there were fans and a mixture of foam and water that was expelled for the fire when it was detected. There's a couple different ways that we have those sensors to detect the fire. And when that happened, fans turn on in the tunnel and then that foam and water dump where the incident happened. And from what we can initially tell right now, the incident from yesterday, everything went as operationally as planned as it was supposed to happen.
I was just going to ask you about that. It's reassuring as a driver and a commuter that those systems are in place. From your guys' perspective, after seeing the cameras and watching how everything played out, was that exactly how it was supposed to go?
Yeah, from what we can tell initially, that's what happened. You know, those systems are there in place automatically. There's also an operator monitoring those alarms that get detected and can intervene if needed. But from what we can tell, everything went as planned to have those fans turn on and that foam and water expelled.
Can you tell us more about the cleanup process? It was a 7-hour-long closure. We know the firefighters got there quickly. A lot of fighting residue, water on the ground. As far as the cleanup went, what can you tell us about that process?
Yeah, so for a large incident like this, people have to remember that it takes a lot of coordination between a lot of different teams within WSDOT and a lot of several agencies that help out too. So first, when it's reported, first responders get there, including law enforcement, our incident response team, and fire and EMS personnel to make sure that everyone involved in the collision is safe and to secure the scene, but also to ensure that the traveling public is safe. So that includes closing the roadways. Things need to happen when the collision is being investigated and make sure that everyone, again, is secure and safe. And then we have to reopen the roadway. In this case, that took a longer process. The vehicle had to be clear out of the tunnel, which we did in coordination with our IRT team and law enforcement. And then the tunnel also had to be inspected. And so that, again, involves a lot of groups and teams within WSDOT. There's, tunnel and bridge inspectors that need to check for damages that could be a hazard. There was our signals crew that were checking any kind of damaged electrical or lighting that needs to be addressed. We also have a bridge preservation office that had to come out and do those inspections. Again, all of those inspections are needed to be completed before we can open the road for the safety of the traveling public.
Aisha, before I let you go, I just want to mention on the WSDOT cameras yesterday, we saw a lot of drivers stuck in traffic, obviously because of that fire, but they started to turn around on I-90 once they saw the crash and couldn't get past. What should drivers do if they come across a big crash scene that blocks a road like that?
Again, when the responders get there, the priority is the safety of the public, and so that includes closing the roadways. We really want drivers to do what is safest, but it's really important to follow direction of the units that are at the scene, and that can include law enforcement, fire, EMS, or incident response team to direct traffic. It's also important to know that this takes a lot of time and coordination. So, we have to address the scene and then work on focusing on clearing up the traffic in the backup. And so, again, we want drivers to be safe, and that includes listening to the direction of people, not going wrong way if they can help it, but kind of following the lead of those units at the scene before we can set up traffic control to block the ramps and keep that scene safe.
All right, good to know. Aisha Dial with WSDOT, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.